back to Command West, Commanders podcast, where we tackle the latest Washington football team news and answer the hard-hitting questions like, who won a game this week? Was it a good thing or a bad thing? We'll cover that and a lot more on tonight's episode of Command West. I'm your host, Bradley Roach.
What up? What up? I'm Tico Wells.
How's it going, guys? Eddie Pass here, coming from Agora Hills.
And I am Donnie Roach, right down the road from Eddie Pass in Agora Hills.
Amazing.
We're
And
close
we have a football game to talk about. Victory for the first time in
Whoop, whoop.
months.
And
Yeah.
like
Great for that.
9 games, 8 games, 9 games.
An 8-game skid.
The
With all 8
Commanders
losses in a row.
win. Does anybody have the score in front of them?
29-21.
29-21.
My little thing last
Uh,
week was let's stay healthy. Let's get Chris Rod going. But
Yeah.
Mm,
Neither of
Chris
those
Rod
things
didn't
happened.
really get going at all.
no, but that's okay because Bill stepped in. There's a few people that
And we
stepped
didn't
up.
really
I think
get healthy
we could-
either.
No, we didn't really get healthy.
We got
Uh,
more injured.
Yeah, we got Tunzel. Tunzel, is he all right?
And the big news is that Jaden Daniels is out for the season.
Out for the
Done.
season.
Yeah.
Best move they
definitely
made all
did.
season.
Right. I think
As
that's
a
a good thing.
precautionary tale, or as it's just too bad. His elbow's too bad.
Well,
Or do
I
we
think
know?
It's the argument that I've been making all for the last few weeks is what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think they even asked Dan Quinn on the presser. If we were competing, if we were 10-4 instead of 4-10, would Jaden be playing? And Dan said, "Well, we didn't really have to consider that now, did we?" So it's like
That's
we're
the
not
best
we're not
answer you
10 and
could
4,
have.
so let's not even go through those hypotheticals.
Right.
Yeah, why even bring it up? Like,
So yeah, right. Yeah, it's the right move.
So,
He
so the Commanders,
hasn't been healthy in a while.
yeah, the Commanders did the thing that I was hoping that they wouldn't do, and they put
Win?
themselves in a worse position for next season. But I know that my fellow people have some other things to say about it, and my mama taught me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Of course, this is a podcast, and I will say some things.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure you will.
I'm gonna let my co-host go off for a little bit on how great this win was.
Okay, I'll get us started. Look, first of all, like we said, 8-game skid. That hurts. That starts to the whole emotional standpoint of the team like starts to drag. And so and I said it. I feel like I needed to win before the season was over. It might be our last win before the season's over, but it felt nice, and it also felt nice sweeping the Giants again. So there's 2 years in a row we swept the Giants. So at least from the standpoint of they're an NFC East rival, and we might suck, but we're better than you are, Giant fans.
at the moment,
Right.
at the moment.
So and
It's a bottom.
and
It's a bottom feeder competition, right?
there's a little bit of a bottom feeder competition, and then and when we talk about the game, I'll say some things about some great performances in the game that I think also helped. Like that's not just a win, but we saw some things from some players that we haven't seen in a while, and I think that felt good as well. So
Speak on it. Speak on it.
well, Terry McLaurin got another touchdown. He hasn't been playing for most of the year. He comes back, gets a touchdown in his first game against Denver. Now, nobody scored anything last week against the Vikings, but then gets another great touchdown, nice long pass. Got around a couple of would-be tacklers and got into the end zone. And you love it. And you could just see the emotion in him. That feeds him, and he is the great player we all knew he was. Young players, Bill Krosky-Merrick, I thought had a great game. Yes, he fumbled there at one point, and we know he has to work on that.
Was he the one that fumbled?
He fumbled but didn't lose it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Technically
because
not a fumble.
the Josh Connerly, our rookie, was there.
Right,
So
right.
Josh didn't have the best game in the world, but he jumped on that fumble. That was good. And then the other one is Jalen Lane, who I think is proving himself as a dominant punt returner. He
Yeah.
hasn't been the
Yeah.
pass receiver that we'd like him to grow into, but he really wasn't drafted for that either. He was drafted to be a punt returner. And okay, who can answer this? Anyone know the last time we had 2 punt returns for touchdowns in one season, and who had them?
Was it DeAndre Carter?
Nope.
He only had one, huh?
Was
Yeah.
it Brian? Was it Brian Mitchell?
Bingo.
Ryan Mitchell.
Really? I didn't
Damn,
remember
that's
that.
a long way
31
back.
years ago, 1994.
Damn.
Brian
Been a
Mitchell.
while.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's
Cool.
been a while. Anyway, and truth is, Jalen did it with not a ton of opportunities because we rarely force the other team to punt.
Yeah, it's
They've
true.
been scoring a lot,
Yeah.
So
That's very
true. I liked that. It was really good to see him step up.
And he wasn't really on the kick return. They
No,
had
he doesn't do
Chase
kick
Chase
returns.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Chase Edwards
Yeah.
had a couple of the 3 of those, and Jeremy McNichols had one. But yeah, let's give Jalen.
Yeah.
Man,
Love to see the young
that
fellas
is
get
still
great.
one of the hardest plays in football, is to return a kick
And we haven't
through
had
the whole team and go all the way.
Yeah.
That's some hard stuff.
we haven't
right
had
there.
someone to be excited about in a long time. So
No, and I think it's hard to say that players are doing well or not doing well when they don't get much opportunity. I don't
Yeah.
think he was targeted that much, as a receiver.
yeah, which
He had a
might
bunch
have
of drops. But I think you're right, Tico. This season in a whole is hard to evaluate certain
Mhm.
players,
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had one target in this game.
And
Yeah.
I think that for me, that's kind of been my frustration, especially with this game in particular, is why aren't we playing the young guys that we want to take looks at? It's weird, like Bobby Wagner plays 100% of the snaps, great. But our Jordan McGee plays 11? What
Right.
are we? Why?
Yeah.
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 What's the point? I don't get it. So that's been just kind of a little bit of a bummer until Zach Ertz blew his knee out. Ben Sinnott barely got any playing time. Why?
He was targeted
Why are we
once,
seeing with this
and
guy?
he had a big catch for that
He had
one
a big
target.
catch.
And
And
they
he
got
does
hurt.
the run after
But
catch, which
but-
we always
but-
love out of a tight end.
Like,
Mhm.
that's not what I was talking about. But yes, he did get a catch today. It's just, this is a lost season. Why don't we throw out the guys that we?
Yeah.
Caden Madrano is a draft pick. Where the hell is he?
Mm.
Play him. I don't
Yeah.
get it. It makes
agree.
no
I
Well,
sense.
think we have to,
they got the
that's true.
hierarchy thing going on. They got the, the game plan going on, and Sinnott and Bates. I was saying that when we were watching the game, it's like, are you ever going to develop these guys as pass catchers? Bradley, you've always said how great Bates was at blocking,
Yeah.
right? But a situation like this comes up when your number one tight end goes out.
Yeah.
These guys don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
You know,
And you didn't draft Sinnott to be a blocking tight end. You
Mm.
at least they drafted Bates to be that guy, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And he's been the best at that for 3
Right.
seasons now. But Sinnott, you drafted to be Zach Ertz 2.0.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Did we even expect Zach Ertz to be the number one tight end this deep in the season, or up until last week? You referred to him
Yeah.
as the number one tight end. I think we were all thinking, okay, they'll start playing him less and Sinnott more, and that never really happened.
No, that's
I
not
agree.
going to
I
happen.
agree with Tico. I
That's
don't
not-
think
that
was.
wasn't gonna
I don't.
happen.
I don't know if that was the plan because of how high that the level that Zach Ertz was playing at,
Mm.
which the team values him more than maybe I do because of his wealth of knowledge. And I will never
Right.
discredit that he is an amazing tight end and has been for years, probably like top 10 ever, right? Like that's
Mhm.
his legacy is set in stone. Like he is probably top 10 ever. I just think he's slow and I want to see other guys get opportunities.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, I think
But-
now,
but
I'll chime in with a little something that I've been a little
Sure.
quiet, but I was really happy about the outcome of the game. I was pretty happy during the game to see ourselves do things that, we haven't been able to do for 9 games straight or whatever. And I think maybe the strategy from the coaching was more of like, let's just put the best guys out there and see if we can pull off a win to pull up the camaraderie that we've lost. I mean, just think of the horror of being in that locker room, loss after loss. You're
Yeah.
just sitting there absorbing this negativity. And, Chico, you're always talking about, you got to have the mindset. I don't see the fire. There's no passion. Get the win. So maybe it's not the right time to test out everybody at once. Let's evaluate certain play conditions. Let's see if we can pull off a win because this will probably be the only one we get for the rest of the season. Have something to feel good about going into Christmas against Dallas, and
Yeah,
like, how
it's
do
gonna
we
be a fun one.
win? Like, you can't win against Dallas if you didn't just come off a win.
Right,
But
right.
maybe now we can parlay this into some
Well,
kind
we,
of.
we played Philly before Dallas, but
Right.
I'm sorry,
but I
yeah,
see what
but
you're
yeah,
Philly's
but
I
I'm,
see
yeah.
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
it's better
Saying
than
Eddie.
like going into all these games with loss after loss, and like something had to be positive. And I'm not going to talk technical about
Yeah.
what coaching should have done or whatever. I just think that we played good.
Well,
Brad,
I
you
actually
weren't
want to
even.
ask you that, Eddie. Did this was this like a well played game? Do you feel
Well,
like
I think you have to
the
be
product on the
relative.
field was like, wow, we played well. We should have
Well,
won
it's
that game.
played well against the relative strength of the team that we were playing against, right? Think
Yeah.
about it. Same scenario going on in the Giants. 2-9 or whatever, 2-11, whatever they were. They're coming into this game thinking we have nothing to play for other than the pride of the NFC East and not losing 2 games in a row to our rivals. So I don't know. I enjoyed seeing us look like we're a team, whether or not we were playing against an inferior opponent doesn't matter because we're seeing all this on every single game during the weekend. Bottom of the barrel teams are coming out of nowhere and beating up on teams that are relatively the teams that are going to the playoffs.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they comes out. There's always an upset. I like the
Yeah.
idea that we had some relative strength on defense. That kid, the little spark. What's his
Oh,
name?
Jackson Dart.
Hamilton.
Dart to spark.
Oh,
That
darn.
kid
Oh,
was
oh, oh,
throwing.
Dark.
He was
Yeah.
playing a good game and he plays with some heart. And I feel like we frustrated him and we got him to a point where he couldn't really do what he did well against some of these other teams I was kind of afraid of that, like that he might do what he's done to some of these
Hmm.
other teams,
Mm.
even though they ultimately lose the game, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
I think that well, I think maybe I see it watch the game a little differently because I was like, wow, we're kind of this is another bad Giants quarterback. Like, thank
Mm.
gosh we got away with them, and they're gonna get the number one overall pick more than likely, and they're gonna trade away their picks, that pick because they don't need a quarterback, or they don't they
They
it's
don't
their
feel
first
like
year
they
with
do.
Jackson Dart,
Yeah.
and who knows what he'll be next year. But I watched a team that was up by 2 scores turn the ball over 2 times and give the Giants
That's right.
an opportunity to win twice, and then Jackson Dart looked like shit. That's what I saw. And I
Right.
was like, wow, this team is trying to lose, and the Giants just did it better than we did. I thought we kind of looked like shit. I mean, to be fair, I did not watch the first quarter, which I know is where we looked the best. So I
Right.
watched
Yeah.
the end of the game where we looked like
The
garbage.
worst. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
true. It's true because
yeah,
I feel like we I think did play pretty well and pretty much dominated up until
yeah,
like what that fourth quarter when with the
yeah,
2 turnovers, and like, okay, now we're gonna blow the game. We had that
right,
15-point lead and looked like we were kind of moving the ball again
yeah,
to get another score. So we could have really had a dominant performance had we not made those crucial mistakes that
right.
against a better team would have lost us the game,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah,
We gave him every opportunity to beat us, and
we
we
did.
we
We
were
did.
saying that while you were away, Bradley.
yeah.
We were all looking at each other, going, "I feel
Yeah, is
kind of
this really
good."
happening? Yeah. No,
Like,
I have the same experience. But it's funny, and here's why, and here's why I'm not happy about this win is for that
Yeah.
reason, right? It's not like if we had beaten Denver, I would have been like, probably wasn't best for us, but damn, we kind of looked good in that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
We didn't look good in this game, and I keep spitting the same fact, but I want to try to come at it in a different direction, right? The goal is to win a Super Bowl, right? That's not happening this season. Actually, before that, the goal is to get to the playoffs, and that's not
Yeah.
happening this season. To build a playoffs team, I look at it as like a recipe for a meal, right? You need the right coaching, you need the right mentality, you need the culture, you need the players, you need the young guys and the veterans, right? And the way that you get those premier players is in the draft. It's just that's the way the NFL has been trending for a long time. You can get those guys in free agency and by trade, and we tried that. We got Laramie Tunsil. Hopefully he stays because he is incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, if he plays for the rest of the season, he might be an all pro. Genuinely. Like that is how he's been playing. But that's how that works, right? So by winning a game right now, we're kind of like addicts, right? We're like commander addicts. It's like, oh, the instant gratification of the win. Yes, thank God. But it's hurting us in the long run. It literally is like injecting heroin into our veins of like, oh, this feels so good right now because we just won a game we haven't won forever. But ultimately, that addiction is hurting us in the future. And I'll speak on it from a person who is a former addict. This is what causes teams to. This is the difference between Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy. Seriously, I mean, like literally, like that's the difference between these picks, right? Is 1, 2, 3, and then 10, 11, 12. Like,
Right.
I'm not making shit up. I'm not making shit
Well,
up.
let me jump in right here.
Go for it, Tico. Because I know that
I like where you're going. I like where you're going. A lot of power in it. A lot of power. A lot of
conviction.
reason. A lot of reason. A lot of good reasoning going on in there. However, let's say this.
Yeah.
There was a 6th round draft pick that everybody knows that he was drafted in the 6th round. He went to like, I think 10 Super Bowls
10 or 11.
or 11. And
I don't know.
10.
Yeah,
He went to 10 Super
10,
Bowls.
yeah.
One,
And
And he
7.
actually won
oh,
7.
7. No, I thought it was 6. Okay. Sheesh.
One guy though. Right?
Yeah. But there are always these stories of these great players that come. There's another story, Mr. Irrelevant. He's out in San Francisco now. He
Taking them to
hasn't
the
won a
playoffs.
Super Bowl, but he's already been to a Super Bowl. Well, he got hurt before he really got a good chance. But the draft, you're only going to get so many players. Say you get 3 good players out of the draft. That is not necessarily going to turn the team around or not. This Washington team has been drafting pretty early and having a lot of draft choices all the way back since 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, all through the 90s. Well, we won a couple Super Bowls. Well, we won 1 Super Bowl in the 90s. And after that, it's just been one quarterback carousel, one running back carousel after another. So, yes, the draft is a big part of it. Free agency is a big part of it. There's some luck involved too. There's some coaching, like you said.
And there's some management involved in what as
There's
well,
some
which I
management
think
involved.
is what you're alluding to. Because we look at the Raiders, right? They've had an early draft pick since I was born, right? And they have comically been terrible at drafting,
Exactly.
right? It's just kind of like the Raider DNA. I mean, even Ashton Genty, like he had some flashes, but that guy was the Heisman winner, and they have the worst
Heisman candidate.
ever. Oh, he won.
Candidate.
Oh,
No, Hunter.
you're right.
Travis Hunter won.
You're right.
But he was up there.
He was up there, and so there's some truth in that, Tico. Is you can't predict the draft,
and even with him, that's a good thing. Nobody's talking about Ashton Genty. Nobody's talking about the number 1 pick, Cam Ward. They're talking about the number 144 more than they're talking about the number 1. Even though when they played each other, the number 1 guy's team won their second game.
Who's the 144?
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh.
But does he look good?
He looks decent.
Good against the Bears?
He looks decent. He's made a lot of mistakes.
Terrible. He looks terrible.
I don't think he looks that great.
Cam Ward looks.
He was number 4 on the draft
Ward
choice. But he was number 4.
Did you see Cam Ward last week?
Yeah.
Did you watch him scramble, throw that, and then the dude dropped it? It It was a
Mhm.
20-yard Mahomes throw that the dude straight up just dropped.
Well, they're both good quarterbacks.
We'll see. The
I
Tennessee
mean,
Titans are
they were both up
the
for,
worst,
Heisman
one of the worst teams
Trophy,
I've ever seen.
huh?
The Tennessee Titans
Cleveland has
are one of the
been,
worst
like you talked
teams I've ever
about
seen.
Yeah.
about the Raiders.
Cleveland
Cleveland
has-
has traditionally been
Yeah.
where quarterbacks go to die.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they get a
And
good
yet
one
they
like
drafted Baker Mayfield,
Yeah.
and then
they
they
let
had
him
a
go.
coaching.
And let him go.
Yeah.
And
They
let him
let
go.
go.
Yeah.
It's like you
He has
finally
to go
get to the
somewhere else to
playoffs.
find
Look,
success. Yeah.
we can have this argument all day, every day, really, but the statistics don't lie. The feeling that you have,
Statistics do lie. That's why they
They
say
don't.
that. That's why what's his name for Denver? What's Denver's coach? Peyton said that he doesn't like this analytics thing because it doesn't take into account what's the mood of the game, what's the other team doing, what's the weather like, who's gotten hurt. It's just statistics are a great tool, but statistics like AI in and of itself is not a
That's
recipe.
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Okay.
bell curve of the greatest players of all time. This bell up at the top is early round draft picks. It just is. There's always outliers. Tom Brady, Mr. Irrelevant, Fred Warner, all these guys that are Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, and then this
Russell
bell
Wilson
curve.
wasn't a top draft choice.
That's what I'm saying. So all these outliers.
Oh, you're saying
are
the
true.
outliers, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, it's all through the draft because when you think about the draft this year, not a lot of teams needed a quarterback, or at least they didn't think they needed a quarterback, so they didn't draft.
There weren't a ton of great quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in
there
draft.
weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't like
most
last
of
year.
the teams had our Jaden. Baltimore had Patrick was there, Mahomes, Burrows,
Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb was already there.
Mhm.
So every year, different players are going to be a premium. I think we need some superstars on defense as well.
We
And
do.
this draft is insane. Ohio State's defense, there will be 3 players that come out in the top 15 of the Ohio State defense. Like that's the defensive players this year are crazy. Really, really crazy.
Let's get some.
Yeah. We need to get a couple.
Yeah, I think we'll go after one. But we might have just missed out on like the best defensive end. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at. Like winning this game like drops us to a point where it's like we don't get that guy, whoever it is, right?
Well, I'll tell you what guy we did get.
You look at Houston, who drafted Will Anderson and their defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is made up of all first-round picks. Tico, Derek Stingley, Will Anderson, those guys that are on the edge and stuff. They have 3 first-round picks on that defense. That's the number 1 defense in the league right now. Jalen Petrie, like that's what we're talking about.
Do you think Houston's going to the Super Bowl?
I don't think they have the quarterback to do it, but they definitely have the defense to.
You don't like CJ?
I think he's fine. I think he's good. I don't think he's all that. They also don't have a running game. Who's the running back? Nick Chubb with a bum leg?
I know. Okay, let's talk about this guy, Antonio Hamilton. What do you know about him?
Is he the linebacker?
He's the cornerback.
Cornerback. He's played for like 7 different teams, but he showed up.
He
showed up.
I thought you were talking about the draft. Oh
no.
Whatever.
He was the best thing on the defense the other day for me.
I watched him break up 2 underthrown balls.
Yeah, but he looked better than Lattimore to me. He was able to stay with his man all the way down the field. He did get a 1 pass interference, but for the most part, he shut his guy down. I had never even heard of him before.
I thought he stepped up. I hadn't heard the name either. That's why I looked him up, and I was like, "Damn, I think we're his 7th different team or something he's played for." Like
he's a keeper.
He's a Josh Johnson of the cornerback position. So
how old is he? How long has he been around?
I don't remember that. Do I still have it up? Let me see. He was born in 90s. He's 32, so he's been around.
So he's a vet.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
He's a vet, and sometimes you need
drafted
those wily
by the Raiders. He was drafted by the Raiders in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah,
I I feel like we got to let our team just, ride this next 3 games out.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, don't worry about whether or not you win or lose. Again, like we said last week, I said it, and I think we all did. Just play a good competitive game and feel like you're feeling how to play the game again. Like I
But
don't.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Eddie, and I also agree with what Bradley said earlier. I think this is a good evaluation time. I think it's time to let the young players play, let the people who don't get a lot of playing time play. And we're not at this point, we're really not worrying about wins and losses as much as
But is
what
there
does the
any
future
reason to
hold.
play? Like when we get into it, we should get into it. Is like I like the idea of trying to keep one of these NFC East teams out of the playoffs, and obviously,
That's already
let's
done.
well,
Yeah.
The
Eagles are
Cowboys are
already
out.
Cowboys are
Cowboys are
out.
out.
They're
Cowboys are
Eagles,
out.
officially out.
Eagles are in.
Eagles are clinched. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Eagles are only going to play us 1 game out of 2 where it really matters, and even this game
Actually,
might not
neither of
even
them
matter.
really matter, to be honest with you.
Right, that's all right. Now you say it, yeah.
And
But here's
and
the
you know,
thing. Here's the thing,
Is there a
guys. Here's a
seating? Is
thing.
there a seating? I literally don't even know. Is there
I
any?
don't think they have a chance at the 1 or 2 spot. So, I mean, 3 or 4 maybe. Let's see,
The
playoff.
the West, the NFC West is got 3 teams that look like they may
Yeah,
do something.
they're
You
all
know,
like in the top spots. So
Arizona is the odd man out. But here's something that
playoff bracket.
any team that I've ever been on,
Yeah.
if you even talk about losing, tanking, your job is at stake. And so I don't think a professional team can even have the conversations that we are even
They
throwing
don't.
around
Yeah, they don't.
about draft choices.
Absolutely
They can't even, you don't come in
No,
the locker room, you're going to get ostracized, you may
Yeah.
get jumped.
no,
You
but
You
may
they
know
can
get
that
have the
you may get your ass
conversation of
kicked.
let's use this time to evaluate.
and
No, you don't you
Adam
don't even have
Peters
that
is doing
luxury.
that.
You
Adam
don't have
Peters is
that
definitely doing
luxury.
that.
I think
Adam Peters is talking about
Because
draft
you
picks right
talking
now.
about
Oh yeah, he is.
everybody's job is at stake. Everybody's job is at stake.
that's right.
And what is Tico? What is winning these last 4 games do for your job? You
Well,
already lost 10 games.
people want to be around winners. Nobody wants to be around a loser.
So if they win 4 more games, if they win all the
3.
games for the 3 more games,
Mm-hmm.
whose job is saved?
Whoever shows out.
Jaden, his job is safe
If so, the
from the
offensive
Jaden's
bench.
not playing.
the
Right.
I know.
offensive
That's what I'm
His
saying
job's
from
coordinator.
the
already
bench.
safe. Yeah.
Check this out, guys. The offensive coordinator's job is not safe right now, even though he was a highly touted guy, like Eddie said last week. His stock went down. The defensive coordinator's job is not safe. Dan Quinn's job is not safe. Dan
And
Quinn's job is not
if we win
safe.
all the rest 4 games, you think Dan Quinn's staying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Definitely.
if we lose, he's gone.
I don't think I don't know. I can't say he's gone, but I say he's got more of a shot.
Tico,
Winning
put
these
yourself in
games.
Josh Harris's shoes. That's who has the power to fire these
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Adam Peters.
And
And Adam Peters.
what is the best thing to do with these 3 games left? I would want my coaches evaluating talent for the coming year. At this
Yeah,
point,
but
it's
not
next year
tanking.
we're looking
But
to.
you never want to tank.
I'm not saying tank. I'm not
But
saying
that's only
tank.
but saying that evaluate players. Are you talking about put in all the third and fourth stringers and stuff like
No,
that?
put in the young guys. It's
you
not about the Alexander Hamiltons, who's 32, who's going to be out of the league in a year and a half. It's about the
probably
guys
signed a 1-year contract.
who are really, really young, who haven't played, and are rookies who we want,
And
might not be.
No, you got to
And it
keep a
does
good
mean
product on the
making
field.
moves that you wouldn't make if you were fighting for a position. Yes,
Right.
you're putting in
I
young
get
guys
that.
that you wouldn't be putting in if you're fighting for a position. That's still what I would want my coaching staff to do if I'm the owner.
Third and fourth.
Give
third
me
and fourth
next
quarter.
year. Give me next year because this year's a
Yeah.
wash. You know?
I don't. I never. You know when. No.
Dan Quinn was fired or was staying many games ago.
We don't know that.
That's what I believe.
That's a good speculation, but
That
we don't know that.
decision was made a long time ago.
We don't know that. We're not inside Adam Peters' head. We're not inside
Because
Josh.
if I'm
Harris.
Josh Harris or Adam Peters, am I looking at Dan Quinn like, you better win these last 3 games without our starting quarterback and half of our defense, or you're done?
Who's the
that's
best
a
coach? Who's the
crazy
best
thing to
coach in the
say.
league? Who's the best coach in the
Andy
league right
Reid.
now? If Andy Reid all of a
call.
sudden became free to come to Washington and he said he's got family here, he wants to be here, do you think they will go for Reid over
Yeah.
Quinn?
Yeah, for sure.
Hell to the yeah.
Actually,
Quinn's job is not safe. They
I
got
would
rid of
say
him.
no- I would say
He took the
no.
Falcons to the Super Bowl. His job wasn't safe.
Why would
Oh,
you
yeah,
say it's
yeah.
no,
He's far
Bradley?
from that with
Well,
us
no,
right
no,
now.
yeah, they would. I mean,
Well, he was
they would
close. He was
definitely
close
make
last
a
year.
Call. They would make a
Why
call.
would you say no, Bradley?
Well, I would just say continuity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I would say that they probably would go after Andy Reid.
Hell
If
yeah.
Andy Reid got free, that would be insane. Yeah.
But again, we're talking hypotheticals here, so Andy Reid, it won't be free. And you've
but
got
in
Dan
that case,
Quinn
Tico, then
here
I'm okay
in the
with
house.
Dan Quinn leaving.
Right.
Look, I don't think
If Andy Reid is coming in here, I'm
That's
cool.
right. So if you were Dan Quinn, would you want to risk looking bad by putting in,
I don't think that looks
I know
bad.
Ben.
I think
it
that
does
shows
look bad
smarts.
if
Yeah,
they're
I
making
think
mental mistakes. We got the veterans like Marcus Mariota making mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
They took Bill's time way down because he was fumbling and he just wasn't producing. Against the Giants, he had 96 yards.
Yeah.
That rose his stock back up to say, hey,
Absolutely.
I know I've done some shady stuff this year, but don't forget me, because Bill's job is not safe.
But it's
No.
the evaluative process. That's the process that goes on, even if you're 2-9 or 9-2. You're always evaluating players.
Yeah,
think
that's
that-
true. That's true.
I
That's
think
true,
that
Eddie.
there are. I wish I had a name for you, Tico, but there are coaches who are blacklisted from coaching in the NFL because of doing what you're talking about doing. Is not listening to the owner and the managers and doing their own thing to try to scrape a win together at the end of their
but
career.
you're
Because they're doing
assuming
what's
that
best for the team.
right. You're saying that that's what Josh.
That's selfish.
What's our owner's name? Josh
Josh Harris.
Josh Harris wants.
It is. I know it is, Tico. It's
When
100%.
you talk, okay. So the other day when you talked to him, is that what he was saying? Is that what he was saying?
But that is the only logical option here
For who?
for
the
everybody,
team
for the
going
for
forward.
the
But,
good, for the best of this team.
And
That
also,
sounds-
I
that
feel like
sounds good.
Tico, I
That
feel like
sounds
you're
good.
confusing throwing the game and evaluating players. They're two
No,
different
I'm
things.
not. You're always
take-
evaluating.
Put
You're
these
always
players in and try and go
evaluating.
out there and win the game. Put these
Hey,
players in and try and win the game.
not-
I'm going to put a
you're
game
not-
plan together to try and win with these players.
And that's
Right,
not what Josh Harris
it's got to
is
make
thinking.
sense.
That's what
It's
Dan
got to
Quinn's
make
thinking.
sense. They're not going to put Josh Johnson in right now to evaluate him.
You're right. Because there's no
They
need to
wouldn't do
evaluate it.
that,
They know
because
what
they
they
don't-
got with
yeah.
Josh Johnson.
Okay, they see these guys in practice all the time.
They might put Sam Hartman in game 18 or game 17. I could see them doing that.
Maybe in the fourth quarter, or they may in
Yeah.
the second half, maybe.
Yeah.
But Marcus Mariota's not sitting down
No.
because
Not until
he's still under evaluation too.
So-
And he needs
Absolutely.
reps.
So,
he needs
so
reps.
Tico, answer this. Okay, so
Reps,
say
but-
we're in the last
like to see
game of the season against the Eagles, and we're down 35-7.
Now you could do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But what about
But
this
if we're
weekend's game?
up by
No.
2, are we trying to throw the game?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
I fully agree.
course not.
I'm with you, Tico. Dan
Yeah.
Quinn's not trying to lose a game.
Hell
I
no.
agree with
His-
that. Yeah.
Adam Peters
And neither
is
is
calling
Cliff,
Dan Quinn and
Cliff-
saying, "Yo, you better lose this game, man."
I-
We're
Kings-
between
Kingsbury.
4 and 5
I don't
here.
think that's happening either. I
I'm
don't
kidding.
think
I'm kidding. Let's move on.
Okay.
got a
Bobby,
game to talk about this
whoever's
week.
behind Bobby Wagner, they ain't getting no playing time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that bums me out. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, because we got young guys who could be getting really valuable reps right now, and Bobby Wagner, who is on the tail end of his career.
Well,
is
let's
getting
see.
those
Put a
reps
pin
he
in
doesn't
that.
need.
You said he played 100% of the snaps last week, Bradley. Let's check this out the next week or so.
That
Let's see.
doesn't bother me. That
What
doesn't
about
bother me.
Von Miller?
Bobby playing 100% of the reps does not bother me. Jordan McGee playing 11 snaps bothers me.
What about Von Miller?
We have nobody else to evaluate at that position.
Vaughn has been invisible, but somehow he's got 7 sacks.
That's crazy.
He's a team
Hey, good
leader in
for
sacks.
Good for
I don't know
Vaughn.
when those sacks happened.
I don't think
Those
I knew
mystery
he was even
sacks.
playing on our team until last week.
Good for Vaughn. All right, we got a
right.
game to talk about in
All
Philly.
right. Yeah, let's.
I don't have much to say about Philly. I think the bummer is they don't look like the team that they were last year.
Right.
They're
No,
so
they're tired.
gettable.
They're
They're so
tired.
gettable.
No one's even
Jalen
talking
Hurts.
about Saquon Barkley this year.
Yeah.
No one has even mentioned Saquon Barkley
No.
all year.
Maybe he'll have another
Offensive
run against us
coordinators,
like crazy.
whatever.
Or Philly.
But-
Nobody's talking about Philly.
Eh,
No, they're gettable. They're gettable.
They're
And that's
gettable.
the bummer of this whole year is we could be in the yeah, whatever. I've beat that drum.
But then again, we
You got the green
we could
on,
win.
Bradley. You
We
got
could
the
we could
green
beat
on.
the Eagles.
could
on
win this
Sunday,
game.
Hey.
Yeah.
Saturday.
We could
Saturday
legit
game.
win this game. Not
We
even
would
we
kidding.
messed around and beat
And-
them last year with the,
And I would still be happy
third
about it.
round
We beat the
quarterback.
Eagles. I'm
Third
going to
string.
celebrate that.
And
heck
and
yeah.
I would too. I would too.
Yeah.
At
if
this
Terry
point.
goes off in this game,
Let
I'm
me
gonna
see
be real
it.
happy.
Bring it.
Well,
I'm
my
gonna be real
fantasy
happy.
team would be really happy about that too. I'm starting him.
Oh,
But
nice.
my commandment is let's see some of these young guys get some
Yeah.
reps.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
definitely wanna
who
see
you thinking of in particular, Bradley?
Bill. I'm definitely thinking of Lane. I'm definitely thinking of Jordan McGee. I'm thinking of Ben Sinnott if he's not hurt. I'm thinking of Kane Madrano.
That's
Those are my
that's
guys.
Kane Madrano is a name like that doesn't that's I don't
That
know
didn't
who
even
that
move
is,
the
you know?
that didn't even move the needle for
gotten-
me.
He's gotten
There's some-
such little, but I think that's Bradley's point.
Yeah.
He's gotten such little play that we don't even know who the hell he is.
But that
Yeah.
this is something that we don't talk about much. These guys are together during the season, Tuesday, sometimes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a light one on Friday, traveling. When you're on the team, man, you know who's bullshit and you know who's you know what I mean? It's not like when Patrick Mahomes got to Kansas City, they didn't see him and Alex Smith every day and go, why is Alex Smith still out there?
Yeah, but look, you point to stories where somebody, these one-offs. There are stories where
Ain't no one
some-
off, brother.
no,
Ain't
I'm telling you,
one-off.
there are one-offs. There are stories where somebody stepped in because somebody got hurt, and your man Tom Brady's one of them.
No
stepped
que-
in because somebody got hurt, and it's
but
like,
they
shit,
knew-
why has he
they
been sitting
knew,
on the bench the
but
whole
they
time?
knew Bill
If they knew, why
Belichick
weren't they
knew
starting him?
what he had.
If they
Bill
knew, why weren't they
Belichick's
starting
no
him?
fool.
Why
He
weren't they
picked
starting
Tom
him?
Brady for a reason.
You're saying they know what they got. That's why these people aren't
They
playing.
do
Why
know
weren't-
what they have.
Well, then why
But
weren't they playing
Tico,
Tom Brady? I'm
my-
saying there's
Because-
people that get on the
because-
field and surprise you.
My
Yeah,
point
that's
is
true. That's true too. But
You're
they
making the
knew
argument
they
that
knew
no
that
one-
Drew Bledsoe was a top-ranked quarterback. He'd already taken him to the Super Bowl. They brought Tom Brady in as a steal to back him up. If anything happened to Drew Bledsoe, they had a top-quality sleeper in Tom Brady.
That's not even what we're talking about though, because you're
No,
making
that's
the
what I'm
argument-
talking about.
You're making the argument that somebody on the bench is going to be as good as they are for the rest of their life. I'm
What
saying
Tom Brady did.
if you bring
No.
somebody in, do you
Aaron
think Tom
Rodgers
Brady
did.
got better
Aaron Rodgers
throughout
did.
his career with practice and reps?
Hmm?
Hell yeah. Those
What'd you
guys
say?
got
Say it again,
better
say it
with
again, say it
practice
again.
and reps. Those
they
guys
get
got
better?
with practice and reps.
Oh yeah, of course. But in his first playing year, he went to the Super Bowl and won.
So why not play Kane Madrano? If you
I don't even know who
play
Payne
him.
Madrano is. I'm argumentative a little bit today, but who is
It doesn't-
Payne Madrano? Who are you talking about?
It's a
What
fifth
position
round
does he
pick.
play? What does he play?
Linebacker. Why
Okay,
not practice?
the third
Get some
round
practice
Go,
with
come
behind
on.
Jordan. He's a third rounder behind.
Do you have a commandment
Jordan McGee.
somewhere in all
Where-
this? You got a commandment over
I
there?
said-
We,
my
we hardly
commandment.
know the second string, Bradley. You're talking to the
Dude.
older tier here. We don't. You're the only one who knows the second
right.
string.
I'm just talking about the young guys. That was my whole
Young
thing.
guys,
You asked
yeah.
me what young guys I want to see. That's
Okay. So you want to see Kane Madrano?
I want to
okay.
see all the young guys get playing time to see what we have for next year.
Well, you're
'Cause
not
you're
going to see
right.
it. You're not
You're
going to
right,
see it.
Tico.
They're not
If
coming
they're
over Bobby
bums,
Wagner.
Get out of here. If
Yeah,
they're
you're
bums,
not-
get them out.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
need bums
but-
on my team.
But here's what I'm saying too. they're with these guys all the time. They know who's a bum. They know who's a bum.
But is he going to get better through practice and reps?
But that's a cold world we live in, bro.
I will also argue
we live in a cold world.
So
the game time is not practice time.
It's not necessarily fair. They're not going to just like go, oh, you didn't get enough playing time, so we're going to put you in, even though you're sort of a wimpy little dude.
We are 4-10. Put him in.
It doesn't matter. They got to put butts in seats. People, we got excited. We got excited. The three of us got excited.
Are going to be wearing green.
Half the people that are in the seats couldn't name any of the team on the roster.
Do it.
People,
Bradley said his
give us a friggin' command.
Nobody likes
I think
a losing
Bradley
team,
said his
man.
commandment.
I did.
Nobody likes a losing team, Bradley.
I know.
All right, I'll say my commandment.
I hate this season.
All right, go, Eddie.
Thou shalt try any and every trick play on special teams just for the pure enjoyment of it. Come on, that's where you evaluate. And I'm sorry, Tico, I agree with you on a lot of levels, but this one I have to say, these guys need a chance to play real game football against real players in a real game scenario, and let's do it. Let's see what we got. And then next year, we'll have a brand new team with a quality pick. Whether it's 3rd round or 5th round, it doesn't matter. We're going to have some nice players.
We'll have some healthy players, just as long as everybody gets healthy again.
That's the little league. That's the little league model where parents are getting upset because, people are giving everybody a participation trophy. And a lot of parents hate that.
That's a totally different thing.
No, it's exactly what you're saying. You want to see everybody get a shot.
No, not just to give them a participation trophy, to evaluate them. That's a coach's job, to evaluate people.
Donnie, you're a smart guy. You're
a
smart guy.
That's
you
why
got
I
the
just
radio
made a smart
voice.
statement.
You got the radio voice. This is sarcastic. This is very sarcastic. Donnie, you're a smart guy.
Right. That's why I'm saying smart
You're
shit
not putting
right
no
now.
scrubs in there. You know what you got on the bench. You see this guy every
true.
day.
Game time is different than practice time, Tico.
You know
that game time is different than practice time.
You know how many happy accidents you find out?
Because you're a smart guy. You know that.
You got to earn it in practice. You got to earn it in practice. This is a business.
Yeah.
This is not some charity league.
And what's our business this year? What's our product this year?
The same product it is every year. Putting folks
it's
in
garbage.
the stands. The product has been garbage. Yeah, the product has been garbage. So you're not going to risk letting more cracks and holes come through. You better win some games.
You better go out next year and put out a better product.
Yeah, but next year may never come. Next year may never come.
You know what Dan Quinn?
You're gonna get that knock on your
Chico?
door, and somebody's gonna be coming to your door and saying, "Mr. Roach, the general manager wants to see you in his office, and by the way, bring your playbook." You're gonna be getting that call.
If Dan Quinn is thinking about, I better win next year, because if I'm not on the hot seat at the beginning of this season, I'm definitely on the hot seat next year, right?
Shit, he's on the hot seat now.
Okay.
So remember, I don't know if you remember this. The Atlanta Falcons coach back in the 80s and 90s. It was this crazy dude. I forgot his name, but Deion Sanders played for him. And he said, you know what the NFL stands for? It says not for long if you keep making plays like that. So and he was right. He was right. Maybe we could do this off air, but I hypothetically, Dan Quinn isn't on the hot seat. Okay. But we can both agree that he is next year. What's his best play? Totally. Is it to go get the best player available? Yep. In the draft. Yep. Then we agree. Then that's my point. That's my point.
Thou shalt make a stand and show that you can go toe to toe with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I like it. Thou shalt upset Philly this week.
Ooh. There you go. Tico's, you're calling the win? Like you do every week? Yeah, I'm calling the win all the time. Always calling the win. Wait. You don't have to ask Tico who's calling. Always. That's going to be our wrap of a lively episode. Went a little longer than probably we all thought could have happened. Now, see what a win does? It gets us fired up, right? Hey, that's right. Even Bradley came in without his meds.
Oh my
That was low.
God.
That was
Yeah.
low blow. That was a low blow. You were smiling. You were smiling.
Yeah.
It's not on meds, folks.
He's
But
smiling. He's
anyway,
not on
he
We
came
hope
in
you
with a
had-
smile today.
We hope you had just as much fun listening as we did, bringing you the latest and the greatest on the Burgundy and Gold. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, tune in next week. Peace.
See ya.